Welcome to your GrainVue tutorial on automatic fan heater mode. Let's press the fan control button. This displays the current fan mode you are in. To change mode, press this button. You are in remote control by default. Let's change to automatic heater. This option will only be available if it's enabled on your controller. Let's press change mode. At this point, nothing has been sent to the controller. We have some settings to set. Automatic heater doesn't use any settings from the settings section to operate the controller. This is a manual entry by you. If you would like the system to automatically change settings, please watch the smart mode videos. You can see here we are in automatic heater fan mode. The change mode button is disabled since we haven't sent anything to the controller yet. In this area, we'll set the minimum and maximum EMCs we want the fans to run between. This controller is set for corn, and we can scroll down and see that here. If you need to change the commodity, please visit the settings video to see how. Let's scroll back up, and you'll see here the target is set to 15%. Please view the settings video on where and how to set that. You can set these min EMC and max EMC however you like. I will set the min EMC to 12. We need to set it well below the target. For max, we will set that to 16. We recommend going 1 point above target moisture. Next, we'll set the heater EMC range. We would recommend setting this a half a point lower than your target. In this case, we'll set the min EMC to 14.5. Let's set the max EMC to 15.5. That is also a half a point higher than the target moisture. I'd like to take this moment and remind you that adding a low temperature burner is meant to dehumidify the air going into the bin and not warm the grain up. Let's explain what some of these indicators are. This is the commodity moisture. This yellow circle indicates the lowest EMC the system will use to operate the fans. This blue circle indicates the highest EMC the system will use to operate the fans. The first red circle is the heater EMC minimum. The controller will turn the heaters off once the corrected EMC reaches this set point. The second red circle is the heater EMC maximum. The controller will turn the heaters on once the corrected EMC goes past both the fan and heater max EMC set point. Shown here is the target moisture. Next, we will go over the temperature fan settings. This section, you'll set the air temperature settings. The lowest the system will use is currently 32 degrees Fahrenheit or 0 Celsius. The highest the system will use is 122 degrees Fahrenheit or 50 Celsius. We'll leave min temperature alone and change max temperature to 95. You can always set any of these however you like. Please be aware that setting settings too narrow will make your controller not run as much. Let's explain what some of these indicators are. This circle indicates the lowest air temperature the system will use to operate the fans. This blue circle indicates the highest air temperature the system will use to operate the fans. This indicates the average grain temperature. And this is your target temperature. This next section is the heater temperature settings. Set the max temperature you want your low temperature burner to turn off at. I will set this to 110. This is a safety high limit, so your heater won't go above this temperature. The max out of bound time is the maximum amount of minutes you want the heater to run to get the EMC back into the heater EMC range. In this case, we are setting this to 60 minutes. The range is 30 to 120 minutes. If the corrected EMC doesn't come back down to the heater EMC range, the controller will stop the fans and heaters and wait for outside conditions to get better. If this happens often and the weather didn't get worse, here are some things to consider. 1. The easiest and most common. Check power and breakers. Make sure the heater turns on manually. If it doesn't turn on manually, it won't start in automatic either. 2. Check and make sure you haven't ran out of fuel. It happens, please check it. 3. Increase your max out of bounds time. Sometimes the heater just needs a little more time to work. Check that you have plenum readings also. This is the sensor that controls the system. 4. Ensure your max temperature is always above your outside air temperature. For example, if your outside temperature is 98 and your max temperature is set to 90, the heaters won't turn on. The 4 listed here isn't everything, but they are the most common fixes we have found. Last is the heater temp change. This is the amount of rise the system must detect to keep the heaters running. If the heater didn't increase, the system will shut both the fans and heaters down, then wait for conditions to get better. I'll change this to 10. We have made our changes, and now we can press save. The system will pop up an alert. Please pause the video to read the alert. Press turn on to complete the change. You'll see the changes were successfully sent. In this section, you'll see the fan and heater status. We covered fan statuses in the Fan Control Basics video. Heater status is displayed here. Off and on are the 2 options. Below is the last time the controller reported the heater status. Shown here is the last time the heaters ran. If you need to make edits in the future, press the Edit button. Make your changes, and press Save. Then press Turn On. This concludes your automatic fan heater mode tutorial. If you have any questions, please feel free to email or call us. Thank you.